We're live. We're live. Hey, guys and girls out there in the world. Good morning. This is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and I'm Greg, Mester Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way, so you can get home to your family and friends. But you're already home, so you're stuck in a cave. So maybe you can crawl out of your cave like little spiders, and then little arachnids or something, and have some fun and deliver product, any kind of product, whether it be IT or non-IT, to your customer in a lean way, so that you're not spending 60, 80 hours in the office, right? Or in the cave, whatever it would be, whatever you want to call it, and have some fun. Part of the fun is doing those little videos that when you have time with your family and friends, you can make them. Eddie's little video now has 2.2 million visitors. In a couple of days, it grew another million points and a million views. It's like a little rocket ship. I mean, it literally, I'll post up a picture of the metrics, but it literally went vertical. Um, so it's been interesting watching because I've never seen first time I got to see something go viral and see how the stats work and everything like that. Because I talk about dry stuff um, in the Agile world, but it's fun. I enjoy what I do. So, and I love cheering on people to learn it and use it and everything like that. So today we're going to talk about two things. I'm going to talk about the why a little bit on what we do, and I'm going to start. I'm debating whether or not to do this, but I'm going to do the first episode. I'm going to call it Help Desk Chronicles. Maybe I'll do little segments on the Help Desk. Every once in a while, people tell me, give me stories and things like that. Not to pick on Help Desk people, but it's a question of customer service and experience for the customer, right? And how to do it. So the why. And okay, in the book, where's that little book? This little book, right? Again, this little book, um, page 82, and again, it's like the 80s. And he wrote, the perceived rules are formally followed without understanding the why. So basically, the rules of Scrum are being followed, the perceived rules, but they don't understand why the rules are there and how they operate. And what I really hope is all these shows, we talk about the why. We talk about stuff that's not in the book, the why we do stuff. And when I coach people, I want them to understand the why and ask them questions of why. I'll give them the answers a lot of times when we're talking, but then I'll say, well, why do you think they say that? Give me some whys behind that rule so that people understand all the multiple levels of depth into why we do something. Like daily Scrum, 3 questions. Why do we do 3 questions? Well, we do 3 questions. We came up 3 questions so they would have a place to start, but there's also more depth to that. We want to get people in the habit of getting stuff done. They're all done related. What did you get done yesterday? What are you going to get done today? And anything blocking you from getting stuff done. So it's the idea of getting work done, not prolonging it over time. That's one of the whys. And there's multiple levels of whys in those questions. And we have talked about, don't stick to just the why. Like the other question is, what else have you been doing? It's a different, what I teach is different between what have you done for sprint goal, which is good, but what else have you worked on? Because I want to know whether or not you're working, and the team wants to know whether or not you're working on stuff that's not related to the sprint goal, right? But we also want to keep an idea on the sprint goal. So there's little nuances behind that. Maybe that's the complicated, easy to learn, difficult to apply, So, but those are some of the whys, and I just want to cover that as we go through all these episodes, that we talk about the whys in depth. And if you ever have a question, comment, feel free to message me on the whys we do Scrum, what's about the Scrum, any aspect of it, difficulties. So send me LinkedIn messages or here in YouTube. You can always, when you watch the video, you can always comment during the video when it's recorded too. And just covering up that why, because there's so many places I've been to, people tell me do stuff, It's like the big audit things. They build these giant not a conform. It's like conformity. It's like a conformance thing. They compliance, giant compliance thing. Like we did something that was like PMP oriented in one company, and this is pre my Agile days. And I took the class, and I understand why they do it. That's the difference. I take the classes, I understand why they do it. And they wrote all these check offs, like you got to do this, and you got to get reviewed here, and you have to have this permission and this and this. And I said, and I'm like looking at the people who get paid to fill out those checklists. Now, we had so much overhead to what we do, which we build these giant checklists of all these requirements and compliance issues for these different gates. They used to have gate compliance things. Every time you came with a review, you did another gate and you checked everything through. And I looked at people and said, do you know why they put that question on the gate? And they have no clue. They just want to know it's there. I'm like, that's if we got funding, and they wanted to, we already got our funding. So we really don't need to evaluate nor review new conformity because it's already been there. Or the spec, because we got it at the same time we got the funding. So there's no next step or whatever. There's all kinds of weird things. And a lot of times the people just didn't know. And we had as the program office, I basically waived a lot of things because it said we already got the information. So we don't need this review. We don't need this step. But a lot of people, why didn't you do the checkoff? Because I already got the money. They're like, didn't you proposal? I said, why do I have to put a proposal on? And why do I have to get the proposal reviewed? If the customer already gave us the money for the work and we just took it, and there's no proposal because you just accepted the money. So we didn't need to do a proposal. But we need a proposal. We need to do the review and make sure we have the data there, but we didn't need to do that because we already got the money. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to still get the checklist. We still want the documents loaded in the system. Okay, but you, the manager, took the money, and you told us to do it, so we did it. You should have done that before. Anyway, so those are the kind of things where the why. Why do we do sprint planning? Why do we invite stakeholders to the review session? Because we want the customer to be there, and we want. And why? Let me give one last why. Why do we have the team in the review with the customer? Be a lot of interesting whys on that one, right? Well, I give you my one answer is because we want the team to get used to the way the customer's thinking, so they get it firsthand versus secondhand through another testing person, or BA, or Scrum Master, or product owner. We want the stakeholders and the product owner to be with the team so they can hear why they like it or don't like it. Get firsthand knowledge. In the book, The Sprint, that he talks about that. He tells them to be in another room on a phone line so that you can't hear what the customer's saying during the customer feedback session, so you don't intimidate the customer, which is a great piece of advice, but that's one of the whys. Okay, so the last one. So, Customer Service Chronicles. So I want to tell them, I got a lot of stories, and friends of mine tell me stories too. So I'm debating whether I want to do this thing, and it's not really picking on customer service or help desk type people. But it's just when I want people to think about these examples of why are you saying this, right? Another why. So, so Help Chronicles of Help Desk. Life, I have this function thing that this thing's not working, right? User. Okay. So here's the user. I have this function, and it's not working in the program. Here's what it does, and here's what the help desk. I recreated your issue. Sends it back to the customer. Customer's like, so that was great. You recreated my issue. So what do you want me to do? Right? So the customer doesn't know. Right? So, but they send it back to the customer like it's done. It's like I recreated the issue. No, you're supposed to solve the issue. Right? And I'll tell you, that one was mine. That was one of mine the other day where I think I mentioned it. The help desk came back and said to me on the notes in the comments, like, well, we recreated the issue. And they sent it back to the customer for response. And I was the customer. I'm like, what do you want me to do? But I was thinking, it's like, aren't you guys supposed to solve these problems, figure this out? I did, as a coach, offer to help them. And I was very happy the person actually took me up on me helping them diagnose how to fix the problem. So I walked him through his own software. I walked him through it. We looked around and he said, hey, share me a screen. He called me off the phone. He showed his screen to me, what his back end of his software looked like. And I said, okay, two things I see, do this. There's a little thing here that says about connecting and enabling. And we went to this other place and said, there's your problem. I said, you have this piece of functionality installed, but on this side where it says it's running, it's not there. It's not listed as a workable function. So somehow the one you got listed didn't get transferred to one that's operating. And there was like a enable, disable button on the thing. And I'm like, my recommendation, but we should do some research on it and finding out, is probably if you disable the function, but don't you do it, do it at night or do it when we're not working, because I don't want to do this or how and the guy was kind of scared to actually do the button, and they have a production support, another layer of stuff that does stuff that would do it. My old help desk world, when you really are production support, and I thought the help desk was DevOps. Woo, DevOps, right? They're supposed to be together and they're not. And usually, and when you really have a lot of performance issue and I have a lot of customers, usually those help desk people have a lot of capability versus just answering the phone. And they actually can run routines because they don't have time to wait for a million people come through with issues on the bugs. But in this organization, no, they don't have that. But it was good. I give the guy cred because he was brave enough to come to me and ask me for help, and he says he likes to walk to the customer so the customer doesn't think he's not doing anything, which I appreciate. And me, good thing I'm knowledgeable enough about software, pretty much can read any software there is and figure it out in a very quick manner. Because it's all logical, it's all written the same way. They all kind of all think the same way as I can figure it out. And then he asked the question, so I appreciate that part, but I still find it amazing that the response and the solution was, I recreated a problem and sent it back to the customer, and the customer would be like, yeah, okay, you recreated my problem. Did you solve it? What did you do? So I like to help them. It was good, and we had a good conversation. Very nice guy. And we did, well, gave him a plan of attack, wrote it down and thing, took some snapshots. I even went on Googled it up, and it confirmed my solutioning. I pasted the link in the comments so that when this does go to the production support people who theoretically know what they're doing, they can disable or re-enable the function, and then hopefully that'll fix the problem. However, I won't be there, and they'll probably give an excuse. This is, well, I don't know what happened. I don't know how to do it. Because there is a further step that you can do, but you have to kind of know how to use the software and read the instructions on how to get it started again. I didn't want to go there because I really don't want to know that much about the software. I'm like, well, you got to, if you're going to hire someone who works in the software, hopefully they read this instructions before and they know how to start up and stop the program, especially when they go and update the software and take it down this Saturday. It would be really nice. Anyway, I think I carried on that help desk thing, but it was a good experience. But it was Software Chronicles where you're supposed to, the conversation between the customer and the help desk people. We can do that a lot. I don't know. We'll do that on Thursdays. We'll do software Help Desk Chronicles, stories of customer service. So with that, I'm going to say we're underneath the 15-minute mark, which is the time of a daily scrum. And we will say, please give us a thumbs up if you like it. Let me know if you like the idea to Help Desk Chronicles. Send me in your stories. That would be fun. It'd be great to have some stories. My neighbor told me one the other day when we're hanging out. So I'm going to try to recreate that one later. And ring the little bell if you want notification on when we go live and we post up more material. And again, I will splice it, make smaller versions of these videos that are available for any time if you want to share them with your teams. Have a great day. It is Thursday. We're almost done the week. I have a bubbled cat that just came up, said hi. Hi, Bubs. You missed the whole show. The wife changed the food on the cats. Cats ain't very happy right now. All right, take care. See ya. Have a great day. Bye. See ya.